This video was sponsored by Raycon. I've been traveling the Eternal Realm for weeks now, searching for death so I can get my beloved Raycon Everyday E25 earbuds back. It's been really hard dragging my table along with me. Not really sure why I've been doing that now that I think about it, but here we are.
I am the Duke of the Infinite. What is your quest?
Okay, that does it. Just as I told the Archbishop of the 8th Dimensional Province, the Empress of Stars, the Scarlet Ouroboros, the Cosmic Flute, and countless others, my name is Arlo. My quest is to find my E25s. I do this because they're completely wireless. They fit so comfortably in my ears, and they last so long, up to 6 hours per charge, and up to 24 hours using my charging case, that music is now something I can enjoy all day. Despite the E25s being about half the price of other premium wireless earbuds, and despite being able to get 15% off by heading to buyraycon.com/Arlo, and despite the fact that I could choose from a variety of fun colors and use Raycon's 45-day return policy if I change my mind, I seek my original pair on principle. I want my Raycons back. My beautiful, bassy, brilliant Raycons. And I am sick of telling you immortal weirdos all of that, so tell me where death is right now! You don't know where death is, do you?
Fight a Cyclops!
Ah! Oh, blamph! My friends, can you believe that E3 is nearly upon us? And can you also believe that it has been 2 years since I've been here in front of you doing a pre-show? And I gotta tell you, I am so pleased to be back. I am happy as a clam, I am pleased as punch, etc. to be back doing an E3 pre-show. And the laughs are coming easily. Ha-ho-hee-hey. Ha-hee-ha-ho. See what I mean? Still working on the background. It's still coming along. I appreciate your continued patience there. But seriously, folks, in case you have not seen one of my E3 pre-shows before, which you might have not, it's been 2 years. You could be new. Who knows? Basically, I've got so much to say, I split these into 2 parts. The next part is going to be predictions, wishes, and talk about, like, the other guys, you know, like non-Nintendo stuff. So that'll come later, but right now we are doing rumors and expectations. What can we reasonably expect to see at the show, and what might we think that we might possibly see based on current rumors that are going around. Historically, these videos tend to be very long because I have a whole lot to say, so let's get started and start with the real juicy stuff. The rumors. That's what everyone likes. That's what everyone really likes to talk about. So I came up with all the rumors that I could think of, and then I asked Twitter for any that I might have been missing, and I got a few from there, so thank you if you contributed on Twitter. And let's start with the big one, the obvious one. You know what I'm gonna say. It's the Switch Pro. I did not think that Nintendo would want to reveal such a thing at E3, so you know, me and a lot of other people thought they might reveal it beforehand. At this point, it seems that did not happen. It's just not gonna happen. Will they at E3? It still seems kind of unlikely. It seems like the kind of thing they normally want to give their own kind of thing. Might not happen at all. It just, I mean, I'm still at the point where I feel like it's definitely true. It's definitely coming. If it doesn't come at E3, then I don't know. Maybe sometime after E3. I think there's a chance it could still be at E3 though. Just because they revealed the Switch Lite with its own separate, you know, video separate from a Direct, that doesn't mean they have to with the Switch Pro, but obviously they don't have to reveal the Switch Pro at all. Might not even be a thing. Whatever, yada yada, etc. You know, but there you go. That's probably like the big primary juiciest rumor going into the Direct. It's the thing that we're all waiting for. We've all been waiting for so long. An E3 Direct would be a really great way to start it off. I mean, I think it'd be a cool way to start the presentation. Just start it off with a cool little demo of the Switch Pro, whatever it is, and show off what it is, and then be like, oh, the rest of the stuff in the rest of this presentation will all be boosted in such and such ways by the Switch whatever. So, I don't know. I think it'd be cool, but certainly not gonna get my hopes up, I guess. I do still believe it's coming, even if we don't see it at E3, but who knows, maybe they'll wanna, I don't know, just talk about it later. For some reason, they think it's funny at this point, I think, is the only possible answer. Next big rumor is that DK one from a while back, and this one is, I mean, I did a whole entire video on it, so I don't need to go too far into it here, but, it excites me and worries me. I'm excited by the idea of some cool new DK thing, but I am just worried about what it might be. I don't want new Donkey Kong. I mean, I want a new Donkey Kong, but not like new Donkey Kong, new Super Mario Brothers, Yoshi's New Island, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't want a regular run-of-the-mill 2D platformer, and you know, the rumor says that it's coming from the Odyssey the Super Mario Odyssey devs. I've heard multiple things. I feel like most of the rumors say it's 2D. But then I've heard some people say it could be like a mix between 2D and 3D. Is that just wishful thinking? I don't really know. Sometimes you reach a point where all the rumors and sayings, they all just kind of get muddied together. And especially, you know, with this one in particular, I'm just kind of done thinking about it until it happens. I think it would be really cool to get a DK. It's just, I want to watch the trailer and be excited and not just be like, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it looks like it'll be pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like, knock my socks off. Give me a cool new DK. Likelihood of this rumor coming true, it is one of those ones where a lot of people have been kind of corroborating it. Usually when that happens, then it usually ends up being true. That's what a lot of the rumors from last year, you remember, like, almost all of them came true. It's like when everybody can agree, you're hearing it from a lot of different places, it's probably true. I don't know why these things are getting around as much as they are, but they are. So I think it's probably a thing, and if it is a thing, I think coming out this year is very likely, as I've talked about before. There's a lot of empty slots in the second half of this year, so pretty much anything is fair game. And a DK game, it's not such a massive, big, huge event that I think they would need a lot of time between reveal and release. I could see it coming out in the fall or something. I don't know if it's a big, exciting 3D one, maybe not, but I don't know. Whatever. Will we see DK? I say probably. So here's one. Mario Kart 9. Is it actually a rumor, or is it just something that people have been talking about? I don't actually know. I've been hearing kind of conflicting information here. I do believe the notable leaker Zippo talked about Mario Kart 9, and so people were thinking it might be a thing because Zippo has leaked things in the past, but then some other stuff that they said was gonna come true didn't end up coming true, so everyone's like, is Mario Kart 9 a thing? Probably not, I don't know. There have been other little tidbits here and there, but they might not necessarily mean anything. So yeah, not really sure if this actually is a solid rumor or just one of those things that just kind of manifests. You know, Mario Kart 9, we just reach a point where we're gonna start talking about it and it's gonna be that floating rumor in the floating ether nebula of rumors. It's just gonna kind of stay there until it happens. You know what I mean? I'm not really sure. I have opinions on the idea of it, but you will have to wait until part 2 of the E3 pre-show to find out more. At the moment, I'll just say that's a maybe. That's a maybe rumor, kind of a rumor. Next, we have 2 rumors that are kind of carryover rumors from years past that kind of seem like they could be relevant again. And that is 2, count them, 2 Metroid rumors. I love Metroid. Out of all of the games that were rumored last year, they basically all came true. We got the Paper Mario, we got the Pikmin 3 Deluxe, we got the Super Mario 3D All-Stars, like, they all came true, except Metroid. There was a 2D Metroid rumor going around, so it's kind of like, I don't know, if everything else came true, why would that not come true? Could just be they were waiting for this year, could be it got delayed or something. I think the strongest idea was that it would be like a Super Metroid remake or something. I really don't want that. I definitely really don't want that to happen. I want it to be original. Don't do another remake that people who own the original aren't necessarily gonna buy, and then other people say, oh, I don't want to buy it because it's an old game and it's $60. Don't do that. Metroid does not need another failure. Whatever the case though, 2D Metroid, if it didn't come true last year, I would say that rumor absolutely still applies this year. We could see that, I hope we do. And then, Metroid Prime Trilogy. Some might say it's been too long and it's definitely not real, but it's another one of those things where so many people said that it was real, it almost seemed guaranteed. But then just like events came and passed and it didn't happen. But here's the thing. Here's the reason why I'm bringing it up again now. Because now, like, they started Metroid Prime 4, and then the amount of time after that started, about 2 years or something, that's when everybody was like, hey, they might do Metroid Prime Trilogy, but then they scrapped it. So then the idea is that maybe they are done with Metroid Prime Trilogy HD, but they wanted to release it closer, you know, maybe only a few years before the release of Metroid Prime 4, so they're holding on to it. Basically, since they restarted development of Metroid Prime 4, the same amount of time has passed since then. So now, if they were originally planning on revealing it at the, 2019 Game Awards or whatever, and if they just wanted to hold on to it because Metroid Prime 4 got scrapped or whatever, it could happen now. Like, we have reached that point again where, if that was their decision, we could be there, and I want it because please, 1, please, 2, do it, 3, give me Metroid Prime Trilogy, please. So you can never truly hope for a Metroid anything, obviously, but I would say between those are two, like, decent rumors, you know, not completely impossible rumors. And that's always fun when you have a Metroid-related rumor specifically that actually seems decently plausible. That's a good time. Now here's a rumor that I hadn't really heard about until I asked people on Twitter. Apparently within Fire Emblem circles, there are rumors going around about a new game. And I don't know any info about where these rumors might have come from. This could just be another one of those things where enough time has passed that it seems really likely that we'll get an announcement. I'd say Nintendo has been pretty good about, you know, intelligent systems about putting out Fire Emblem games at a pretty good pace. You know, they come every few years, so it could just be one of those things. 3 Houses came out long enough ago that, yeah, it seems pretty likely that we'll get some sort of Fire Emblem related thing, especially because 3 Houses did pretty well for a Fire Emblem game. So yeah, they're probably gonna make more. It seems at least according to the rumor, again, I haven't heard any of this. I just heard people talking about it on Twitter. They're saying it could be something new or it could be a remake. I feel like people are leaning more toward it being a remake. I'm not really sure, but the 2 best contenders at the moment are Genealogy of the Holy War or Path of Radiance. A full ground-up remake would make plenty of sense because now they have 3 Houses. They have the Switch Fire Emblem engine or whatever. They have a bunch of assets they could use. But at the same time, something like a remake of Path of Radiance, they already have, you know, they could update the 3D models. They already have, like, the groundwork laid out. They could just kind of, like, remaster it, shine it up or whatever. Whatever the case though, that would be pretty cool. Our final 2 rumors aren't exactly rumors, they're more just things that have been talked about recently. We don't have like a solid source of information saying this is gonna be a thing. It's more just kind of something that our attention has been drawn to them. The first is the idea of a new Kirby game, specifically a 3D Kirby. And yeah, like I said, it's not really an actual rumor. It's more just based on, you know, what the developers have been saying. They want to do a new Kirby. They want to push it into the series into new places and revolutionize the Kirby formula. And a lot of us just really want that to mean a 3D Kirby. It's just what a lot of people really want. I mean, like, what else can you do to really make Kirby a big thing that's different than it's been, other than a new 3D one? So I'll call that like a half rumor. Because, see, here's the thing, I'd say it's fairly likely, just because, at the very least, some new Kirby thing is likely. I don't know about the 3D thing, just because we're due for Kirby. They do a lot of Kirby. They put out a lot of Kirby games, so it seems reasonable to think, yeah, I don't know, it could, you know, they could be due for a new one, why not? And then very similarly, WarioWare. There's no real information other than like the Nintendo, the survey that's been going around asking people if they would be willing to pay $50 or whatever amount for a WarioWare game. That got us all talking about it again, but there's nothing really solid, again, except for the fact that we are due for a WarioWare game. Even more so than Kirby. We haven't had a WarioWare game on the Switch yet, you know. All the other systems have gotten them. You know, the Wii U even got its own thing that wasn't even just micro games. It was like a whole thing. So like, yeah, it's only a matter of time before Wario hits the Switch, and this is as good a time as any. So it's very much possible. So that's all I got for the big rumors. Sadly, I am now retiring the Star Fox Grand Prix rumor. I think there's a fine chance that it did exist. I think it's very much possible that Retro Studios was indeed working on something like Star Fox Grand Prix or whatever it would have been, and that it got canceled, because it kind of sounds like possibly a lot of things got canceled at Retro, which is really depressing, and I don't want to think about it anymore. But yeah, that rumor, it's gone, I'm sorry. No. That is it for rumors, so now we move on to what we can expect. Like the things that we can actually, reasonably, tangibly expect at E3 2021. Going into the show, what are we likely to see? I'll tell you what we're likely to see. The first item is something on Breath of the Wild 2. Obviously, there's no real, true guarantee. We can't possibly know for sure. Aonuma was like, oh, we might be able to share some new information on Breath of the Wild 2 later this year. I think that we can... Yes, I think yes. I don't want to jinx it. I think it's as much of a guarantee as you can possibly expect. The game has been in development for so long. It's been 2 years since we saw anything on it. I think it's time. I'm at 95%. We're gonna see the sequel to Breath of the Wild 2 at E3. Is it gonna be a full, massive reveal? Is it gonna give us a title? I don't know, but I think at the very least another teaser trailer is like, you know, you can't ever get your hopes up completely. You can't set yourself up so that you'll be super disappointed if it doesn't happen. But it's gonna happen. And speaking of Zelda, we still haven't gotten a, you know, a Zelda Anniversary Direct. It is possible that if such a thing is coming, it could happen after E3. So we don't know for sure if we'll be getting any other, like, Zelda Anniversary stuff in the Direct. But we do know that it's something we can, you know, it's another thing we can kind of reasonably expect. There's enough of a good chance, you know, I could be fairly confident that we'll see some sort of Zelda Anniversary thing. You know, could be more remasters or ports or whatever. Twilight Princess and Wind Waker have been rumored, although at the same time, you know, with Skyward Sword, I guess I should have talked about that in the rumor part. That's technically a rumor people have been talking about. You know, more Zelda remasters. But with Skyward Sword coming out, that really messes everything up. That really messes everything up. It makes it feel like they're not going to want to spend too much time on Breath of the Wild 2. They're not going to want to announce any other Zelda remasters like Twilight Princess or Wind Waker, just because of the fact that Skyward Sword is coming out. They're going to want us to really focus on that. So that really does hurt our chances of seeing basically anything else. I think we could still see a teaser for Breath of the Wild 2, and it would not draw too much attention away from Skyward Sword. But I do think Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, and other remasters, at least 3D remasters, are significantly less likely because of Skyward Sword, unfortunately. So I would not expect those. Some sort of Zelda stuff, maybe. Speaking of which, Age of Calamity DLC, I would say that's another one that we're not guaranteed, but like as close to guaranteed as you can get without it actually being guaranteed. We've known about the DLC for quite a while now, and we're just kind of waiting to get more information other than this little list just kind of saying like a character and whatever. Unless they're waiting for a Zelda Anniversary Direct, they still could be in a couple months. They'll do one of those. But it's just, I don't know, the year is going, the year is passing. I think Age of Calamity DLC, yeah, that's pretty likely. And this year is a great big question mark. There's a lot of possibility. There are a lot of games they could talk about. There are a lot of potential reveals they could make. Not a ton in the way of super duper pretty definitely expected stuff, you know? And there is one more very big item, I would say, more than anything else, even more than Breath of the Wild or Age of Calamity or anything like that. I would say if there is one single thing that we can be like 99.999% sure is gonna be there, it's a Smash reveal. As always, can't be 100% sure, blah, 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 but like, you know, pretty much every major event, we've gotten a Smash reveal. There's been a lot of DLC fighters. That's the one thing I bet money on. I bet a pretty good amount of money on. We're gonna see another Smash character reveal at E3. Who's it gonna be? Who can we expect it to be? Really don't know. I mean, like, I guess I could have talked about this in rumors, but like, I don't think there are any solid Smash rumors. I want to say like Dante was like kind of like a thing for a while. I think Doom Guy is the one that people are talking about the most, but I don't necessarily know if that, like, I might have just missed a piece of information or something, but it seems like another one of those things where it's just people thinking. It's just people like saying what they want. And I mean, they've already given us every character possible. Like the list of viable, legitimately exciting characters is dwindling. You can count them on one hand at this point. There's so few. It's like Dante, Sora, Crash, but even that is like, I don't know. Activision, Toys for Bob is gone. They're probably not gonna make any Crash games anymore, so it's like, I don't know, is that even worth it? Doom Guy is currently at the top of the list. I don't know if that means that there's any reason to believe that it will. I go back and forth. I think it seems not very likely, but then, I don't know, but then I switch back and be like, yeah, but I didn't think Steve was very likely at all. I thought Steve was impossible, and they made that happen. And when it happens, in retrospect, you go, oh, I guess I should have expected it anyway. So I don't really know. Will it be Doom Guy? Who knows? Maybe I'll talk about this more in the predictions part of the pre-show, but at the moment, it'll be a Smash character, at the very least. So that's all the stuff we can be fairly confident to pretty darn confident that we will see at E3. But then there are a few things that we might see. Things, well, a lot like the Fire Emblem thing, where it's like we don't have any real information to go off of, but it still seems like a thing that could happen. Mainly when it comes to Nintendo's studios and that have just been working on stuff for a while, and, you know, they'll eventually reveal a thing. I know there's a lot of buzz going around about Xenoblade, just because Monolith Soft has been, like, we know they're working on the next thing. We don't know if it's going to be Xenoblade 3 or whatever, or another, like, kind of side thing like X, but they've been working on it for a while, and if, you know, the remake slash remaster whatever of 1, if we can assume that that is something that a slightly smaller team of them could have been working on while the rest of the team was working on a big next thing, which is very reasonable to assume, especially considering the company has been growing quite a lot recently. They've been really getting a lot bigger. There is a perfectly fine chance that at E3 they'll reveal the next big thing that they're working on. They might need more time, they might not, but it would not be surprising if they did. You know, the time is ripe. Again, just like Fire Emblem, it's basically time, so why not? Next level games, I would say, is not quite as ripe. It's still a little bit hard, a little bit sour, you know, not quite ready to come off the stem just yet. But still possible, still absolutely possible. If you recall, Luigi's Mansion 3 actually released at the end of 2019. That was nearly 2 years ago, which is impossible, just impossible for me to even believe. But that means that, and again, if their company has been getting bigger too, and Nintendo actually bought them fairly recently, it's perfectly reasonable to believe they might have been working on a second thing too, in addition to Luigi's Mansion, or even just since Luigi's Mansion, you know what I mean? They could have something, who knows, that'd be cool. Retro Studios used to be the ripest fruit on the tree. It was so big and plump and juicy, and we know that it would drop at any moment, and then it just started to rot. And then it just kind of died and got squishy and moldy and gross, and then it fell off the tree. And now we're all just like, oh, okay, cool, I guess. If things that have been coming out about the company are true, again, like I said earlier, it means that they might have canceled a lot of games, which means that they might not have anything to show for the last 5-6 years of development. I don't like the idea. It's depressing. It could be that they're only working on Metroid Prime 4, and that's all they've got. They don't have anything else coming. But at the same time, it is still technically possible. They have something in the works. They've had something in the works. Maybe something that just, they've been really tight-lipped. Nobody really knows what it might be, and it could take us completely off guard, and they'd be like, yeah, what do you think we've been doing for the last 5 years? And we're like, I don't know. I thought you canceled everything. We can't know. We don't know. Seems less likely all the time that they're working on something other than Metroid Prime 4, because where is it if they are? But still a thing that could happen. We could sort of reasonably, maybe possibly expect that it's a possibility. So this list is a little bit less fun. These are the things that I think we can reasonably expect to not see at E3. The first on my list is Splatoon 3. I know they just revealed it, and I know that it is technically a game that is, you know, coming up. We saw it in the trailer. It looked like they got some stuff really rolling. It's not just like this vague concept. We know it's coming, and, you know, like a year from now or something. So, like, yeah, we could see more at E3, right? I don't think so, though. Call this a hunch. This is just kind of based on my many years of observing Nintendo reveals and seeing how long they take to release or whatever. The vibe that I got, could be wrong, absolutely could be wrong, my gut tells me, the vibe that I got from the Splatoon 3 reveal, it was that was one of those reveals where they reveal it, and then you don't see anything on it for kind of a long time. I know they said it was coming 2022, I don't know how late into 2022, but if we're like a year or more away from the release, I think it's just what I don't know, it's what I feel. It was one of those ones where Nintendo reveals it, and then they just go quiet for a while. You know, kind of like Breath of the Wild 2. Hopefully not as extreme as that, but that's what I got from that trailer. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it, but that's what I felt. Maybe it's wrong for me to put it in this category, because maybe I'm the only person who feels this way. Maybe we can expect to see more about Splatoon 3. Absolutely, possibly could. I could be wrong, easily. But Arlo, don't expect it. He ain't expecting it. The next one I don't expect to see is Super Mario Party 2, or, you know, just whatever the next Mario Party is going to end up being. However, I have much more concrete evidence to back this up, or rather, any evidence at all. I think it is possible that bringing online to Super Mario Party was a way for them to kind of test the waters, which could definitely mean that a new one is in development. Also, they just make a lot of Mario Parties. They make a ton of them. We're overdue. We're way past due for a new one at this point. I know Super Mario Party is still selling really well, so it is reasonable to believe that we are going to get another one, sure. But my thing is, usually like Mario, like sports games and party games. I could be wrong, I've not like, you know, studied a list of release dates or whatever, but at least off the top of my head, I feel like those are usually fairly separated because they're like the Mario spin-off game of the year, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to stack them too close together. I feel like Nintendo treats party games and sports games kind of the same. And so this year, in fact, just like, what, a week or two or something after E3, we're getting a new Mario Golf game. I don't see them advertising a new Mario Party game. Again, easily could be wrong, but it's just, I don't know, it wouldn't make a lot of sense yet, and especially if they got us playing Super Mario Party again with the update. Would they really want to yank us away from that already? Like, what was even, you know what I mean? Like, apart from testing the waters, what was even the point of getting us all excited and playing Super Mario Party again, if just to say, oh, but here's a new one coming too, you know what I'm saying? Like, doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So that's another one where I personally do not expect a new Mario Party, though, you know, could be. And finally, it is really hard to imagine, just like to accurately predict how much we can expect something from Metroid Prime 4. I have said in the past that at the 2-year mark, after Metroid Prime 4 had been announced and presumably worked on for 2 years, that's when I started thinking we could get a teaser. We absolutely could get a teaser now. That amount of time has passed again. We have hit that mark again, so I should feel the same way, but it's really hard to get the hopes up. Like, it's reasonable to imagine a little animated thing. Nothing gameplay, absolutely no gameplay, just like a little animated teaser to give us a taste of the story. But at the same time, it's Metroid Prime 4, and we know that it's probably really far out, and it's just Metroid. Nintendo doesn't like to do stuff with Metroid a lot, so as with the rumors, it's like, it's nice to be able to grab onto it and be like, yeah, this is a thing that could reasonably happen. They've been working on it for 2 years now, over 2 years, so yeah, it could, but you also don't want to get your hopes up because really, you're expecting something from Metroid? What's wrong with you? So in this case, Metroid Prime 4, my gut says no. It's possible, absolutely possible, that they could have something to show us. My gut says, though, they probably won't. But who knows? What if they are more eager to show us stuff because it got scrapped? Because now we've been waiting for it for 4 years. Maybe they will understand that and they will want to share some with us. I don't know. Once you share anything, though, you open the floodgates and we just want more. So who knows? Well, that's it. I told you I have a lot to say, but I am done saying it, at least for this part, because please, I love you. I love you so much. Please, I beg of you, just look at my face. Look how serious I am. I love you. Please, stick around for the next part, which will be coming very soon. Need I remind you, that's when we talk about the predictions, the wishes. Those are the things that people love to see so much I do entire videos on them at the end of every single year, so you're definitely going to want to stick around for this. Well, if you do decide to stick around, I will see you later, and in the meantime, if I might indulge in just one E3!